Okay, so here we are in a sample exam, and we're going to look at one of the programming questions. So the first programming question on the paper, question 1, and it says the following code defines the person class in person.java. So we've got a little bit of a class there, and we're going to complete some methods in the class, and then create a tester class. So it's bread and butter question. You should have done this many times already this term, many dozens of times, at least this term. And so this should be a simple question for people to answer. So it's 5 marks, bread and butter stuff. It's stuff we've been doing since week 2 of term. So okay, so or even earlier. So we've got a person class there. The question says to add. Okay, back in. I just had to turn on my highlighter. So the question says to define two set methods. Okay, to set the name and the age. Okay. And 2 get methods. So the set methods are the mutators, the methods that change class data, of course, and 2 get methods that get the name and the age. So they're the accessor methods. So we've got mutators and accessor methods. And also define a method called isAdult that return true if a person's age is greater than 18. So greater than 18. And also we need a person tester. But let's just focus on this part for now. Now there was a little error there with the question, and that that lowercase o should be uppercase O there. But if you find an error in a question, just ignore it and move on. Okay, don't worry about errors in questions. Just move on. So we need two mutators and 2 accessor methods. So let's go ahead and do that. So we need, and I'll just fix that little error there with override. Okay, so public. So we're writing a method called getName, and it's going to return a name, and the name is a string, so the method's going to have a type of string. Okay, that's its return type, and the method's going to be very simple, just return name. So the accessor methods are usually very simple methods, just return whatever value the caller asks for. And then we need another method called public getAge. And age is an integer, so the method's going to be of type integer, so it can return the data. Okay, so public int getAge, and it's just going to return age. Okay, so that's our accessor methods done. We've got one more accessor method if we really want to get technical, and that's this isAdult here. It's going to return true if a person's age is greater than 18, otherwise it'll return false. So let's do that as well. Public. It's going to return true or false, so it's going to be returning a Boolean type. isAdult. And it's going to return true if the person's age is greater than 18. Okay, greater than 18. So there's many ways you can do that. You can do the little shorthand I've showed you in class. Or if you can't think about what the shorthand is in an exam, don't go looking for it. Let's just do the longhand. If age is greater than 18, return true. Else, return false. And I'll just fix indenting up there. Okay, so there we go. That's what the method's doing. So it's returning true if it's greater than 18 or false. And make sure you get the greater than 18 there. It's not greater than or equal to. The question says greater than 18. And that's it. So we've completed over half a question already. It's worth 5 marks. And we're looking really good so far. The second part of the question is to create a person tester class and create an object of type person, and then call some methods in the class. In this case, it just says to call the toString method to display the person's values to the screen. Okay, so let's do that. So let's create a person tester. So public class, person tester. And it's going to have a main method. Oh, well, let's save it first to get the... Save it as Java. Alright, person tester. We need a main method, public static void main. Get the cursor out of the way. String square brackets args. And so the question says create a person object. Person, does it say what it's called? Create a person object with the name of Johnson and the age of 35. It doesn't say what to call the object, so we can call it whatever we like. So we'll call it person. On equals new person, and we're going to pass through the values Johnson and 35. So let's have a look at our constructor here, and it takes a string and an integer in that order. So we're going to pass through a string and an integer. So Johnson, 35. And then the question says to use the toString method to display the above mentioned person objects field values. So we're going to display them to the screen. System.out.println. It doesn't say to display them in a dialog or anything, so we'll just go with the simplest answer, which is to display them to the screen. Okay. Now person method has a toString method here. Person class has a toString method. So that'll get called automatically here. But if you want to just want to make it really specific, you can add the toString in there if you want, just to make it really clear. But you don't need to do that. You can just leave just person on its own, and when Java needs a string representation of the person data, it automatically looks for that toString method and runs it. Let's just make sure our code's right. Waiting for compile. Control 2, and there it is, Johnson 35 being displayed to the screen. Okay, so pretty easy question, really a bread and butter question, and nothing should really surprise you in a question like that. It should be pretty easy and pretty straightforward. Really, it's a gift for 5 marks. Okay, hope that was useful. Thanks for watching.